Dear travelers, before we begin this journey together through the wonders of Puglia, I want to ask you a question that will accompany you throughout this video. Why were the Trulli of Alberobello built without mortar, using only interlocked dry stones? The answer to this architectural enigma, which hides a story of cunning and rebellion, I will reveal to you only at the end of our journey. Welcome to the heel of Italy, where every stone tells millennia of history, and every glimpse seems painted by a divine artist. Puglia is not just a region. It's an open-air museum that extends for 800 kilometers of coastline, where the Adriatic and Ionian seas meet, creating a kaleidoscope of colors that will leave you breathless. Alberobello, the kingdom of Enchanted Trulli. We begin our journey from what we could call Puglia's fairy village. Alberobello is a place that seems straight out of a fairy tale, where over 1,500 Trulli create a unique urban landscape in the world. These conical buildings, declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1996, are much more than simple dwellings. They are witnesses to ancient construction wisdom dating back centuries. Walking through the Monte and Aya Piccola districts, you'll notice that each trullo is different from the others, as if it had been shaped by the hands of a different craftsman. The conical domes, built with limestone slabs called ciancarelle, are crowned by decorative pinnacles that look like small sculptures. But remember, I'll reveal the true reason for this construction technique at the end. Lecce, the Florence of the South and the triumph of Baroque. If Alberobello is poetry, Lecce is pure art carved in stone. Known as the Florence of the South, this city is the beating heart of Lecce Baroque, an architectural style so particular that it's considered unique in the world. The Lecce stone, soft and golden, allows itself to be carved like butter, enabling 16th and 17th century artists to create true symphonies in stone. The Basilica of Santa Croce is the crown jewel. Its facade is an open book of symbols, mythological figures, and decorations that tell stories of faith and power. Every square centimeter is a masterpiece of artistic precision, the result of the genius of master stonecutters who made their art immortal. Polignano a Mare, the balcony over the Adriatic. Imagine being on a natural balcony suspended 20 meters above the crystal-clear sea. This is Polignano a Mare, where the white houses seem to be born directly from the limestone rock. The city gave birth to Domenico Modugno, and when you walk through its narrow streets, you can almost hear the notes of volare echoing. The marine caves of Polignano are a hidden treasure that can only be discovered by sea. These cavities, carved millennia ago by the tireless work of the waves, create an aquatic labyrinth of rare beauty, where light games transform water into liquid crystals. Ostuni, the white city that defies time. Perched on 3 hills at 218 meters above sea level, Ostuni is known as the White City. But why white? The answer is both practical and fascinating. During medieval plague epidemics, the inhabitants discovered that white lime not only made houses shine, but also had disinfectant properties. From the historic center, affectionately called La Terra by the people of Ostuni, The view spans over a sea of centuries-old olive trees that extends to the Adriatic. These green patriarchs, some millennial, are the true guardians of this land's memory. Monopoli, the pearl of the Adriatic. Monopoli is one of those cities that conquers you at first sight. Its historic center, surrounded by mighty walls, houses 9 medieval churches, each with its own history and treasures. The port, still the heart of city life today, is a natural theater where the colors of fishing boats mix with the blue of the sea. Not far away, the Castellana Caves offer a breathtaking underground spectacle. This karst complex, formed 90 million years ago when Puglia was still submerged by an ancient sea, is a journey through Earth's geological time. Gallipoli, the beauty of Salento. Gallipoli, whose name derives from the Greek kale polis, beautiful city, is divided into 2 souls. The old city, connected to the mainland by a 17th century bridge, is a Baroque architecture jewel that floats like a mirage on the Ionian Sea. The new city, instead, overlooks about 20 kilometers of golden beaches that have made Salento famous worldwide. The crystal-clear waters of Gallipoli hide extraordinary marine wealth, protected by gently sloping seabeds, creating natural pools with colors ranging from turquoise to cobalt blue. Vieste, the diamond of Gargano. On the Gargano promontory, Vieste rises like a white sentinel over the sea. The city is dominated by the famous Pizzo Munno, a 25-meter-high limestone monolith that, according to legend, is the protagonist of a tragic love story. Vieste's beaches, with their fine sand and transparent waters, stretch for kilometers, offering ever-changing scenery. Torre Guaceto, the wild Eden. Torre Guaceto represents the wildest and most unspoiled Puglia. This marine nature reserve, established in 1991, is a unique ecosystem where Mediterranean scrub meets sandy dunes and coastal lagoons. The biodiversity of this area is such that it has been recognized as a wetland of international importance. Otranto, the gateway to the east. Otranto is much more than a city. It's a bridge between west and east. Its cathedral houses the largest floor mosaic in Europe, created by the monk Pantaleone between 1163 and 1165 with about 600,000 limestone tesserae. This masterpiece tells biblical, mythological, and historical stories in a symbolic interweaving still studied today. Castel del Monte, the stone enigma. We conclude with what we could call the most mysterious of Puglia's monuments. Castel del Monte, commissioned by Frederick II around 1240, is an architectural enigma with a perfect octagonal shape. This castle, a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1996, has no moats, drawbridges, or kitchens. It seems more like a temple of knowledge than a military fortress. Scientific curiosity, the karst phenomenon of Puglia. Puglia is a natural laboratory for understanding karst phenomena. The region rests on a limestone plateau that water has shaped for millions of years, creating caves, sinkholes, and swallow holes. The Castellana Caves are the most spectacular example. Their stalactites and stalagmites grow about 1 centimeter every 100 years, making each formation a living geological calendar. Questions and answers. The secrets of Puglia. You often ask me, when is the best time to visit Puglia? The answer depends on what you're looking for. If you want to enjoy the crystal clear sea, the months from May to September offer ideal temperatures between 24 degrees and 32 degrees Celsius. But if you prefer to avoid crowds and experience authentic Puglia, the period between September and October is magical. The sea is still warm, the days are bright, and prices are more reasonable. Another recurring question concerns gastronomy. What's the dish I absolutely cannot miss? Orecchiette represents the soul of Puglia cuisine. This pasta shape, with its characteristic concave form, comes from the wisdom of housewives who modeled small semolina shells with their hands alone. Served with turnip tops, cherry tomatoes, and burrata, they create a gastronomic experience that encompasses all the territory's flavor. Useful information, expert advice. Optimal period for each destination. When April's sun begins to gently warm Lecce's white stones, the magical moment to explore Puglia's historic centers presents itself. In spring, between April and May, nature awakens in a riot of colors. Almond trees bloom, creating pink clouds along the roads, while mild temperatures, ranging between 18 degrees and 24 degrees, will allow you to stroll for hours among Baroque wonders without the nuisance of scorching summer heat. But if your heart craves the call of crystal clear sea, then you'll have to wait for summer's arrival. From June to August, the waters of the Adriatic and Ionian reach temperatures varying from 22 degrees to 26 degrees, transforming into a gigantic natural pool where you can immerse yourself in waters as transparent as crystal. However, prepare to share these paradises with thousands of other travelers who, like you, have discovered the magic of Puglia's coasts. Autumn, however, hides a secret that few know. September and October represent the perfect compromise between climatic comfort and tranquility. The sea still retains all the heat accumulated during summer, while the days are tinged with that golden light that only the Mediterranean sun can give. It's in this period that you can experience the most authentic Puglia, the one that reveals itself to wiser travelers, away from summer crowds but rich with all its wonders. Transportation and logistics. Your journey to Puglia's wonders most likely begins from Bari Karol Wojtyła Airport, named after the Pope who so loved this land. This modern airport hub represents the region's main gateway, connecting it with major European cities through direct flights that will take you to the heart of the Mediterranean in just a few hours. Once landed, you'll discover that the regional railway network proves to be a precious ally for exploring major Puglia cities. The trains, which cross the countryside through landscapes dotted with centuries-old olive trees and lime-whitened farmhouses, will take you from Bari to Lecce, from Foggia to Brindisi, in a journey that is already an experience of territorial discovery. However, if your adventurous spirit pushes you toward the most remote and secret seaside locations, those small pearls hidden along kilometers of jagged coastline, then the automobile becomes your best travel companion. Only this way can you stop when your heart suggests, discover that hidden cove behind a curve, or that family trattoria where time seems to have stopped in your grandparents' era. traditions not to miss. When May envelops Bari with its scents of sea and orange blossoms, the city transforms into a theater for one of southern Italy's oldest and most evocative celebrations. The Feast of St. Nicholas, which takes place from May 7th to 9th, is much more than a simple religious observance. It's a time journey that catapults you into medieval atmosphere, when the saint's relics arrived by sea from Myra. Imagine finding yourself on Bari's waterfront while dawn's first lights illuminate the sea. Suddenly, a procession of historic boats appears on the horizon, reenacting the arrival of St. Nicholas's remains in the year 1087. Men dressed in period costumes that seem to emerge from a Renaissance painting row in unison while crowds gather on the pier in silence charged with emotion. St. Nicholas, whom the world knows as Santa Claus, was actually a 4th century bishop, protector of children, sailors, and marriageable young women. His figure crosses centuries and cultures, uniting East and West in a devotion with very deep roots. During the feast, you can witness processions that transform Bari's streets into rivers of light, where candles and prayers mingle in an atmosphere that touches the soul even of the most skeptical. Here we are at the long-awaited moment. The Trulli of Alberobello were built without mortar for a reason as ingenious as it was rebellious: to evade taxes. In the 15th century, the Kingdom of Naples imposed a tax on every new permanent urban settlement. The astute peasants devised this system: build houses that could be quickly dismantled upon the arrival of royal inspectors, then rebuilt once the danger had passed. This technique, born from necessity, became a unique architectural art in the world, transforming a fiscal expedient into humanity's heritage. Legend tells that there was a lookout system that warned of tax collectors' approach. In a few hours, entire villages would disappear, leaving only orderly piles of stones. Frederick II, that enlightened sovereign who loved Puglia so much he was called Pier a Pugliae, Boy of Puglia, probably never imagined that his fiscal policy would generate one of the world's most fascinating architectures. Our journey through Puglia's wonders ends here. But the real journey begins when you set foot in this extraordinary land. Every stone tells a story. Every sunset paints an unrepeatable picture. Every encounter with Puglia people will give you an authentic smile. Puglia is not just a tourist destination. It's an experience that transforms, an open book on humanity's history, a natural museum where art merges with nature. From the north of Gargano to the south of Salento, this region offers a mosaic of beauties you'll hardly find elsewhere. If this video has made you want to pack your bags, leave a like and share it with those who would like to discover these wonders together with you. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next trips we'll take together through Italy's beauties. And now, tell me in the comments, which of these 10 places would you like to visit first and why? Your answer could inspire our next journey.